Hello. Can you guys hear me in video land? Yes. Can somebody say something so that I know I can hear you too?
I can hear you, Steve.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Let me get organized here. Just a second. We'll probably start in about 3 or 4 minutes after people get settled in. So no rush tonight. Hey, Kathleen.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
A students sit at the front row. Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I want to actually figure out how many people are going to be here, and then we are going to get some more webcams so that everybody can have a webcam.
Oh, okay, cool.
Helps with discussions and things like that. If everybody wants to log into Canvas here before we get started, we're going to be in there pretty much every class, but I'm going to go through the Canvas setup a little bit tonight. So if you log into that, it also has a copy of the syllabus, which I'll be going over tonight too. So, and we have 16 people signed up for this class, and so far there are just 5 here. So I'm going to give folks a few more minutes tonight, just to let you all know. Tonight it's sort of a introductory session to the class, which would have been last week, but I managed to get that nasty flu that's going around. So you didn't get to hear me hack away, which was good for both of us, or all of us. So tonight I'm just going to do a high-level sort of overview of the course and textbook and things like that. So we probably will not be going the full 2 hours tonight. If you have any questions while we're waiting for other people to arrive, fire away.
Steve, I have a question.
Yep.
So somehow I managed to order 2 books, but one's the 7th edition and one's the 9th. Do you know which one would be more useful to me?
Yes. The one on the syllabus is the one.
I think that's the 7th edition.
Probably, it's January 2011. I actually don't have my book here with me. But the one, I didn't think that they had posted a book on the NWIC bookstore, but apparently they had, and it wasn't even the right edition. So,
Yeah, that's which one I ordered. And then I ordered the 7th edition through Amazon on accident.
okay. Let me just see real quick. And I'll confirm which edition it should be. Yeah, it should be the 7th edition. So you should be able to return that book to the NWIC bookstore. I think they have some return process.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, can I see yours, Angel, actually? Did you get yours through the bookstore, through Amazon? Or?
No, one of my buddies had it.
13th edition. Wow. This is so this one is not the right edition. No, you may be able to use it because a lot of times all they do is they change the exercises in the book, but all the content stays the same. Mm-hmm. So, but you can also, right now, they have them at Amazon for like $19. So, during the first 4 weeks of the course, all of the reading assignments are scanned in and will be on Canvas. So you won't, if you don't have the right edition for the first several weeks, it's not a big deal. So, okay. Okay. Rachel. Here's a print syllabus. All right, good. We have a few more people, so we'll start in a minute or two here. You guys can log into Zoom also on your computers if you want. Like I said, I'm going to try to have webcams in here for, I should get at least 2 or 3 more webcams so that.
So if we can't make it, so we can just log in?
Yep. Yep.
Because I have a daughter and there's like take care of her.
Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely log in from home. You know, if you have a good internet, it takes a decent internet connection, but anything cable or DSL or anything like that will work fine.
All right.
Should work fine.
Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
Oh, great.
Yep. Yeah, they will. Zoom is set up to mute you on entry, so you just have to click the unmute button in the bottom left-hand corner there, and get you.
Yeah, I've been having internet problems at my house for I don't know how long, and it finally got resolved.
Oh, good.
So I was really sweating it.
All right. Good timing.
Yeah, well, I know we had some readings to do, and before my internet went down, I had seen that it was that you had loaded it to Are you still there?
Yep. I'm
Oh, okay.
sorry.
It's making doing weird things. But anyway, I know it was on there, but that's about the time I lost my internet. So I just received the book. So basically, what I'm trying to say is I only read a couple pages in the readings.
Yeah, that's no problem. Tonight really is going to be sort of the introduction to the class. We're not going to cover that much content tonight. We'll do what we would have done last week if I wasn't sick. And all the readings for the first 3 to 4 weeks, all the readings I have scanned in on Canvas. And so if there are any reading assignments for any of you who don't have a book yet, you don't have anything to worry about for 3 to 4 weeks at least, because the scanned versions of the readings will all be on the on Canvas for you to access. So, all right. Okay, let me make sure I got everybody marked down here, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're good to go. So, sorry for the late start. First class of the quarter is always, so far, not as many technical challenges as there usually are, so that's a good sign. But I will try to get started in general right around 5, just so that we can cover material and get out of here early if we get through with it early. So I work my regular day job, 8 to 5 in the finance office here, and so I basically come over here right after that. And so, but we should be starting pretty close to 5 every day. So first of all, I'll just welcome you all to Finance, TGBM 410. And this is one of the, as you I'm sure are aware, one of the requirements for the Tribal Governance and Business Management degree. This is a course that will prepare you to take your entrepreneurship course, build a business plan, include financials in that. That's TGBM 420. And also gets you ready to do your capstone, which are essentially the 499A and 499B, where you'll pick a project, business related, maybe nonprofit related, and put together a capstone project on that. So this class will provide hopefully some of the financial basics and some of the more, I guess, not just basic financial tools, but be able to do financial analytics that might be helpful in some of those projects. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm just going to real briefly introduce myself, talk a little bit about my time here at the college, what I do, and then I'm going to ask each of you to introduce yourself. If you've been in this program for a while, which I imagine you have, hopefully you're getting familiar with these Zoom-based classes. It's nice for everybody to be able to sort of see and hear and discuss things with people who aren't necessarily in the same classroom. There are 16 people registered for this class, and I think only 6 of them are registered here at the Lummi campus. So 10 other folks will be logging in via Zoom. And if you're at Lummi campus, you can also simply log in via Zoom too. You can either attend in person here at SAC 2, or you can attend via Zoom. Either way, it works for me. So it's helpful anyways to do these personal introductions. I think the first day, just to give people a chance to see your face and get to know you a little bit better. So I'll start out, talk a little bit about myself, and then after that, I'll have you guys answer a few questions, and then I'll go over the course, the basics of the course, how it works, what counts, what's important to do, what's not important to do, and we'll go through that, and then we'll talk about assignments for next week. So, and again, excuse me, I apologize for not being in class last Tuesday. I managed to contract the nasty flu that's been going around, and it kept me down for about 4 days. So, so we'll pretend this is class number 1 of the quarter. So first, a little bit about me. So my name is Steve Zawoski, or Steve Z. If you have a, Angel, if you have a mic attached to that, you might want to turn it off because we get feedback a lot of times if there are 2 mics going in the same room. And that's just another general principle about how I like to run the classes via Zoom. If you can keep yourself muted until the time in which you want to ask a question or make a comment, that'd be great, just because we get a lot of weird feedback sometimes when we have multiple mics going on. So, all right, so Steve Zawoski, I've been here at the college since 2009. I was originally hired here as a curriculum developer and a full-time faculty member. And at that time, in 2009, the college didn't have either a 2-year or 4-year degree program in business or tribal administration. And so one of the things I helped with the current department chair, Laurel Ballou, is to reactivate the business program. The 2-year business and entrepreneurship program was my focus, and she focused on putting together the public and tribal administration program. And then we worked together on developing this tribal governance and business management program, which has been going now for, I'm going to say 3 years, actually 4 years. And so I was a full-time faculty member and program curriculum developer here for my first 5 years until 2014. And then in 2014, I took the position, I was offered the position of the chief financial officer for the college. And so that's my main gig right now, is managing the finance department, which includes the accounting department, purchasing, and the bookstore here at the college. So I've been doing that for about 2.5 years now. It's a great job, very challenging, really puts a lot of the information and tools that we use in this class to daily use. And that's one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to transition into administration on a full-time basis, because it really forces me to use these tools and ensures that I know what I'm talking about when I teach you guys this stuff. So I still teach 1 class a quarter. This is the only class I teach. And I've been teaching this since the TGBM program started 4 years ago. So I'm a numbers junkie. I really like numbers a lot. I think they provide a really good perspective on how an organization functions. So whether you're looking at the cash flow of an organization, whether you're looking at its efficiency, its profitability, if it's a nonprofit, whether it's breaking even. I enjoy looking at all of those perspectives, and you can do it pretty easily with numbers. And so that's what we're going to be working on a lot in this class, is using financial statements and other financial information to understand what's going on with the business. My educational background, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Washington, and I have a master's in business from Washington State University in entrepreneurship and small business development. I didn't, before I came here to the college, I didn't really envision myself in an educational institution. When I was 26, I started my first consulting business. I was in the technology field for about 10 years and did network and systems consulting for that period of time, and ran this consulting business, sort of developed it. And then when I moved from Pullman, I sold that business and transitioned to the West Side. And that's sort of how I stumbled into Northwest Indian College, moved to Bellingham without a job, and was looking for work to do. I just happened to see a business faculty position open here. They were either silly enough or smart enough to hire me. I'm not quite sure which. But I've had, it's been a great place to be for the last 6-7 years now. And I've enjoyed my time here. I am also actually currently taking classes myself. I have 2 upper-level accounting classes to take, and then I'll be qualified to sit for my the Certified Public Accountants exam, CPA exam. And that's just another, that's a good certification for someone who's going to be working in the finance field, especially in the nonprofit world. Nonprofit finance and accounting is much more complicated than for-profit because you have a lot more rules that you have to follow, especially when you're dealing with grants and things of that nature, and annual audits. It can be a challenging to keep up with all the rules and regulation changes from the federal government and the state government and any private donors you may have. So it's the CPA designation and training is a really good basis to be able to do that. So hopefully within the next 6 months, I will finish those classes and take my CPA exam. So outside of school, I have a 6-year-old daughter who loves Pokemon. She loves putting on fashion shows and likes dessert a lot. And I also spend a lot of time outdoors outside of the college. So I like to bike and hike and backpack, do international traveling, things like that. And so that's sort of what I do outside of my work time here. So that's a basic introduction to me. You'll get to know me hopefully as the quarter goes on. I tend to be pretty laid back, but this is also a challenging course, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in a bit. And so there are some items that I definitely want to communicate that are important for you in succeeding in this class. And so as we go through the syllabus, or I go through the syllabus, I'll talk about that a little bit more. But right now, what I'd like you to do, and I'll just sort of call out folks here, I'd like each of you to do a personal introduction. And let me see here. Diane, it looks like you have set your screen to screen sharing. There should be a button at the bottom of your Zoom window that says stop. There you go. Thank you. It'll be easier for people to see each other this way. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do for your personal introduction is just your name, where you're from, what you are pursuing here at the college, so what degree, sort of why you're here, what you hope to get out of this course specifically, this finance course, and then just one thing that you would like the rest of the class to know about you. So just a few items here. Angel, do you want to start since you're already up there?
Yep. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? All right. My name is Angel Rockwell. I'm from Arizona. And it's my 4th year here. And I'm working on my TGBM degree. And I have a daughter. Her name's Najoni. And playing the basketball team at college, and I always try to keep myself busy. And I'm looking forward to this class. Nice to meet everybody. Yeah. That's all I got, pretty much.
Thank you, Angel.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to come up here because I don't think yours has a webcam on.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Solomon. I'm from Lummi Nation, and I work in the accounting office for Lummi Indian Business Council. I'm just learning more of the process of seeing the whole picture from this class. And I'm trying to pursue or working towards my business management, tribal governance diploma also. And I'm a mother of 4 with many grandchildren. And I spend my free time mostly with kids. That's about all I got.
John? Okay, so let's see here. I'm just going to go in the line in which I'm seeing you all on video here. So Feather, can you go next?
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Just one second. I'm having. All right. Can you say something again?
Can you hear me?
One more time.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Feather Cayona. I reside on the Yakima Reservation. I'm a Yakima enrolled member. I work for my tribe within the finance department in the property and acquisitions program. I've been at my job for 7 years now. I've been with the tribes for 10, starting out at our gaming commission, then going over to the casino side and the auditing before coming to where I'm at now. I've been in the TGM program for 3 years now, and I have worked with Canvas. I think they started it 2 years ago. I've done Zoom, I've done conference through the Canvas, and I've had my first in-class class last quarter where I commuted twice a week to Muckleshoot for a CSOV 101 class. And so actually this was the first time I ever had to do that. Other than that, all of my classes have been on here through independent or online. I'm a mother of 2. I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son who just turned 4 on the 15th, so Sunday. And my daughter travels a lot for basketball. She's very into basketball, so I travel every weekend pretty much. So far I'm balancing work, school, family, and I just want to wish everyone good luck.
So you commuted from Yakima to Muckleshoot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really sucky there the last 2 weeks. Just because that's when the snow finally hit. It was the last 2 weeks of the quarter.
Sure. Well, that's commendable. That's commitment. Thank you. All right. Let's see. How about David? You want to go next?
Yeah, my name is David Miramontes. I will be 59 years old this month. I'm a member of the Coeur d'Alene tribe located in Idaho. I have a trade that I've been doing for the last 25, 26 years, and that's in upholstery. So Sunday, after I complete my education, currently I'm pursuing the TGM program. And so I like to open up my own upholstery shop, hopefully. I'm the type of person that likes to keep my options open. So if that's unavailable to me, I can still utilize this education to maybe work for some tribal entity. I don't mind saying that I'm an addict and alcoholic in recovery, and I have been for the last 6 years. And if I did not make that choice, I would not be here today. So I'm really grateful for that. And I hope to get this bachelor's degree in this course. And so hopefully this will give me the information to facilitate my becoming an entrepreneur.
Great. All right. Thank you, David. Let's see. How about Rachel Moses?
Going for my tribal governance business management degree. I'm on my last year. I'm a mother of 5. I live on the Muckleshoot Reservation. I have a whole bunch of cooks in my family, certified cooks, and a whole bunch of beaters in my family. So someday we hope to figure out some kind of business to get opened. I hope to learn everything I can possibly from your class, and I can retain it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. How about Diana Yellow Road?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
Yeah. My name's Diane Yellowrobe. I reside here in Lapwai, Idaho with the Nez Perce tribe. I work for the education department. I work basically with all of our students out here or across the country. And I get the fun job of handing out scholarships to all the students or mail them to all those colleges. And I got my associate's degree at Salish Kootenai College in Montana. Really liked accounting there. And so when I moved home, it actually worked. I got a job in our finance department at the casino here. So I was just an accountant clerk. So I got to put all of that to use, what I learned. And then I left there, it kind of got really repetitious. So I applied for this job that I'm at now with the education department. So it's kind of like a wide range of jobs. I don't really work with numbers. Most of our programs do all the calculating for us. So I don't really have to do too much, just create Excel spreadsheets for the requisitions and check requests. Let's see, so I work full time, I go to school full time. I have 2 daughters, one who is 24 and my other daughter's 16, and they both keep me busy. My youngest one, she's applying. This will be her 5th year as the Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year for this area, which is cool. She's really surpassed me in what she does. My other daughter has done the same. She's a kind of a business entrepreneur at 23. She has a lot on her plate. She rarely stands still. So I feel really blessed that they've gone way farther than I ever have. So I'm getting my bachelor's degree. I hope I'm able to finish it because it's really challenging. Having to run home to get on the computer in time because I really can't do it at work. So, and then just being busy right now with all of the students going back to school, and of course, spring quarter will be coming. So that's really when I'm really busy trying to get myself enrolled, much less get all of the students their scholarship checks in time. Let's see. I guess that's about it.
Great. All right. Thank you, Diana.
Yep.
Let's see. How about Natasha?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I am Natasha, and I am currently living in the Nez Perce, living at the Nez Perce site in Lapwai. I'm from Wisconsin, and I'm Ho-Chunk and Ojibwe. What else are we supposed to say? Sorry.
What you're here at the college to do, what you hope to get out of this class, and then anything else you'd like us to know about you.
Okay. I am in the bachelor's program in a TGBM, and I am hoping to get out of this class a better understanding of just financial ways, I guess. I have 2 daughters, and I hopefully will be graduating next winter.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. How about Hannah Jans?
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm a senior in the TGBM program. I am at the Lummi site. I'm a Lummi tribal member, and I work for Lummi Indian Business Council in the Economic Development Office. I've worked there for 5 years. I did 1 year as an interim director there. Actually, I just finished that role while we were filling in to get a new director. I currently am the economic planner for that department, and I have a 1-year-old son. He's sitting next to me. He was in daycare all day, so he doesn't want to leave my side. And I recently got married in November, and let's see, what I hope to gain from this class is more knowledge so that I could use it in my daily life at work. I've already read the readings, and it actually relates to my work directly and what I do. We help entrepreneurs start their businesses and selecting their type of business that they want to have a business license with. So that was part of chapter 1 reading. So I can directly relate to a bunch of the readings as well. I'm excited to learn more about business and use it in daily life.
Like somebody wants some attention there.
This is my son, Colden.
Hi, Golden. How's it
Say
going? Give me a thumbs up. No.
Say good. Good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. How about Jack? You want to introduce yourself?
Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. My name's Jack Klushkan. I'm Tlingit, and I'm from Yakutat, Alaska. I'm married and have 2 kids, and currently living out in Deming with them. And this is should be my final year at Northwest Indian College, working on my business management degree, and looking forward to getting done.
All right. Yeah, that's a good feeling, especially when you're working full time and going to school full time. Sometimes it doesn't seem like that'll end, but I will tell you, because I've done it myself, it will end. So just know that there's an end. Just got to keep pushing sometimes. So
yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give up until the end of the quarter. After the quarter's over, then you can give up for a while. All right. So let's see. Did Jennifer? Are you still out there? My monitors. Jennifer.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Can you?
Actually, sitting in the parking lot.
Oh. All right.
I haven't made my way inside yet.
Oh.
But my name is Jennifer Solomon, and I'm at the Lummi site, and I am. I think this next quarter I'll be a quarter closer to my capstone, so I'm getting there. It's been a long couple years, so I'm back in school and ready to finish. I took a little break, but I am back, and although it's challenging because I have a new baby, so I've done it before with 2 babies, so I know I can do it. And what I hope to gain from this class is, man, it's just completing it. So I took this class before, and this is my second time around. So this is my goal, is to finish. So I'm really excited that I'm getting closer, and I just want to be a good role model for my family. I have 3 girls, 1 boy, and many nieces and nephews, and a lot of children too, that are looking at me and watching me, and I just want to be a positive influence to them and to others in our community. But that's everything.
Great.
And this Michaela.
Hi, Michaela.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Okay, is there anyone else out there who hasn't introduced themselves? I've been trying to keep up as people have been coming on. If there is, let me know. You can introduce yourself. Just make sure. I think we got everybody though. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for introducing yourselves. Like I said, it's especially given that we're not sitting in the same classroom together. I think it's pretty important that we at least get a chance to look at each other's faces every now and again and hear each other speak. So, and really, as we go through this quarter, as I said at the beginning, if you can keep yourself muted until you want to talk, but you're welcome to ask a question, make a comment throughout the class. So I definitely don't want to decrease the opportunities for discussion. So feel free to ask a question tonight or any of the other classes as we go through the quarter if you don't understand something or need additional assistance. I want to make sure that we all sort of get through this course together. That's really my goal. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the class and a little bit about my perspectives on the class. I'm sure that many of you have heard from other students who have taken the class. They may have had an opinion one way or the other about the class and what they thought. So I'll give you my opinion, and then you can decide what to think. But as I said, this course is really, it's numbers based. We're not going to be doing advanced math, but we are going to be doing a lot of basic math. Really for the most part, a lot of the most commonly used financial calculations and metrics are pretty simple math. But understanding what they mean after you calculate them and where to get the numbers to actually do those calculations is sometimes challenging. So, but there are some prerequisites in this course, like statistics and CMPS 116, which is Excel. We will be using Microsoft Excel a lot through this course, so make sure that on some computer that you have access to Excel, because especially after about week 4 or 5, we're going to be using some functions that I'm going to teach you these functions in Excel. So you'll need access to the application both to work in class and work on some of them, and then obviously to work on the assignments too. So hopefully you're pretty comfortable doing some basic things in Excel. One of the things I tell people, a lot of people will say, oh, I don't like math, or I have numbers. I don't like numbers. So one of the things I encourage people to do, especially at the beginning of this course, is to really tell yourself that you like numbers. It helps a lot. If you can convince yourself that, one, that what you're doing is possible, and 2, that it's going to be a benefit from you and that you actually might enjoy it, it makes the whole process of learning these things a lot easier. Conversely, if you come into it on the other side, just saying, oh, I've had a lot of bad experiences with math, I don't like math, I just want to get through this finance course so I can get done with my degree, that's going to make the learning process probably more difficult for you. So that's one of the things I will encourage you. Try to have a positive attitude about using numbers, because especially not just in the for-profit business field, even in the nonprofit field, if you're going to be working in the finance department, the accounting department, economic development, all of these places require you to have an ability to understand a situation through numbers. By looking at numbers, you can understand, you can have a particular insight about a situation, whether it's how a business is performing, what somebody's credit is like, how big of a risk factor they are, what an investment will yield. All of these things take just a basic knowledge of certain financial calculations. And once you have that and you're comfortable using that, you can use it in any situation. You can take it to other situations and use that too, to have a better understanding of what's really going on. And so that's what, hopefully you get comfortable with numbers, because then you can use them in all sorts of different ways to get different perspectives on how an organization is performing. So let's see. The math is basic. You do need to be comfortable moving back and forth between decimal and percentage. So, you know, if we're calculating something and the result is going to be a percentage, but your calculator or Excel tells you 0.51, you really need to know that 0.51 is the same as 51%, right? Or 0.2 is the same as 20%. You need to be able to go back and forth between those two. And so, and you'll get practice doing it, but I just want you to be prepared for that. And with the prerequisites for this class, I'm confident that most of you are. So I will say this is not an easy class. You probably heard that from maybe some other students. But I'm going to tell you how you can guarantee that you'll pass the class or do well with the class. It's not an easy, well, first of all, I'll tell you why some people think it's not an easy class. If you come to class 50, 60, 70% of the time, in other words, if you miss like 3 or 4 classes throughout a quarter that has only 10 or 11 classes, that's going to put you at a huge deficit, because what I do in this class is try to reinforce what you learn in the book, and then we practice it in here. I talk about it, we do some practicing in here, and then you go home and you work on an assignment. And so not being here, especially the first time you're learning a concept, not being able to ask questions, not being able to look at how I might work through a solution, makes it really challenging. So I'm going to be, I am right now, good. I'm recording all of these class sessions. So you will have access to a recorded version or recorded class session on YouTube. So what I typically do, assuming I don't have any technical difficulties, is tomorrow, the day after the class, I will download the video file, and then I will upload it to YouTube. And as soon as I get it uploaded to YouTube, I'll post a link in Canvas that'll say class session January 17th, 2017. And so you can click on that. And so whether you were here or not, you can review, you can go to that video recording, you can watch the entire class session. Anything that happens really here in the Zoom session is captured in that class video. And so that's one resource I'd really encourage you to use, especially if you miss a class. If you do miss a class, make sure you do go to that video, review it, watch it carefully, and then if you have any questions, you know, you can always contact me and ask also. But attendance is pretty key, and in this class, it's a key part of the grade too. It's 30%. And the main reason is because in the 4 or 5 years that I've been teaching this class, I have never had a student miss more than 30% of the classes and still be able to pass the class by doing well on the assignments and by doing well on the tests, the 2 tests that are in this class. And so correlation for success is to attend the class and to do the homework. The other thing that we'll have each week is there will be some reading assignment, and then there will be typically some questions or some calculations to do. That's the other key piece that people who don't succeed haven't done their assignments. And my take on that is it's really the assignments, just like class, just like reading, it's all just repetition. That's how you learn, is by repeating things. And so when you read something the first time, that's the first time you're essentially exposed to that material. When we discuss it in class, that's the second time. So now you have a second exposure. When you do the assignment, then that's the third time you're exposed to it. And the fourth time may be when you take a test or when we do another assignment. And as far as learning goes, repetition is key. The more you repeat, the more you will remember. There's actually there's a book that uses the phrase "repeat to remember," and it's really true. The more you repeat, whether it's a skill or something that you learn in a book, it can be music, it can be art, it can be a sport. The more you repeat, the better you get, and the better you get at that skill. That's how your brain builds good connections, basically, by repeating these things. And so that's one of the key concepts of what I do here is I try to make sure that you guys have a chance to not only learn about it the first time on your own, but then discuss it in class and then work with it. A lot of times we'll do in-class sort of exercises just so that you have a chance to work with it while I'm here and can ask questions. And then you'll do a lot of the same problems maybe for the assignment that week. And so that's just another chance for you to repeat. So that's just sort of a learning philosophy I have, but remember, it's not my philosophy. It's a learning philosophy that's out there. There's actually a great book by a brain researcher at the UW, and it's called Brain Rules. And there's actually a book called Brain Rules for Babies. And if you're a parent, a new parent especially, I would recommend you get this book because Brain Rules for Babies talks about what happens in a child's developmental process from like 0 to 3, I want to say. It's got some really, it's really easy reading, but it's got some really good information in there. So if you have kids and are curious in those early stages what's going on with their development, it's a good book. Check it out. Yep.
Did you show that before?
Yeah, I've used that. Yeah, in another class.
I remember that.
Yeah. When I was teaching full time, there's actually a video that goes along with that Brain Rules book, and so with some of my classes, I shared that with them a few years ago. It's a great book about learning, and if you're just curious about how your own brain works and are interested in an easy read with good information, that would be a book I'd recommend. So, so those are really the two keys to succeeding at this class, I will say, is to attend and to do the assignments. If you do those things, you will have enough repetition to do well on the test, to do well on any quizzes that we have in this class. Excuse me. And in between.
Question.
Yep.
When we're in class, are you going to be able to like take, for instance, when we're working on spreadsheets, will you be able to show us, on your side of the screen how it's compared and how it's done, basically with the formulas?
Yeah, so I'll be able to screen share. In fact, I'll do some of that tonight. Yeah, I can share anything that's on my computer here. So I'll be sharing, we'll be doing some things in Canvas. I'll take you guys through Canvas tonight a little bit. But yeah, I'll be working through Excel, and you guys will be able to see my Excel screen, so you'll be able to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I had my financial, or what was it? It was before managerial accounting, financial accounting. My instructor, she said she wasn't capable, or she didn't know how to, because I had asked her to show us how it's done. She said she couldn't do it. So that was just a horrible, horrible quarter for me for financial accounting. Going to the whole quarter without ever seeing a spreadsheet because she said she couldn't do it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know that last year they were having some, so we're using Zoom right now, but they were trying to use Canvas. Canvas also has a video conference function to it. I tried to use it for a while, and I quit using it for that reason, because I wasn't able to share my screen with the class. And especially in this class, I think it's really key for you guys to be able to see what's going on when we start working with some of those functions. So yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, I'll definitely have that going as we get into those Excel calculations.
Thank you.
So, yep. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, so those are the key things, and I'll cover them real briefly in the syllabus also, but really everyone in this class should be able to succeed with a passing grade. if you find yourself at some point throughout the quarter really struggling with some material, you can always contact me. Email is probably the best way just because I'm not always in my office. But if you send me an email, then we can set up a time. I can do a private Zoom session with you. And so we can go over things one-on-one if you're not here at Lummi campus. If you are here at Lummi campus, we can set up a time if you want to meet in person. I can always do telephone calls too. I have meetings throughout the day, and so it's best for me to be able to schedule that time with you if possible. So if you do find yourself struggling and uncertain about how you're doing this in the course, contact me sooner than later. It's a lot easier for me to try to help you work through issues before the 9th week of the quarter. That's one of the other situations that I've seen several students get into is they haven't been doing their assignments and they just get further and further behind, and then they try to deal with it in the 9th week of the quarter, and there's really not much we can do at that point to help with the situation. So if you're having issues, contact me earlier on, and then we have a lot more solutions at our disposal to use. So, okay.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
When I emailed you through Canvas, does that go to your regular NWIC email?
No, it doesn't actually. In fact, I don't. There may be a way that I can set up those notifications, but I didn't see that. So feel free to email me at my NWIC email. That's the one I see all day long. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the other things, because this is a 2-hour class session, and I don't want to sit for 2 hours without a break, we'll typically have a break at 6 o'clock. 10 minutes, and then we'll come back into session, just to allow people to get up and stretch their legs and do whatever. So let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break right now, and then we'll come back and I'll go through the syllabus and a few other things, and then we'll be done. So we should be done tonight by probably 6:30, I guess.
Do you have the keys to the restroom?
I do. And I'm going to step outside real quick myself.
Oh boy, I'm tired already.
Yeah.
Long day at work.
Steve,
Yes.
I have a question. I sent it through chat, but if there's ever a time that I can't get out of my office, I can use my computer at work, but I don't have a camera. So it would just show up with my name on it. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I typically ask for people to be fully connected, both via video and audio possible. But if that's not possible for some reason, just let me know. That's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just so everybody can sort of ask questions and discuss things back and forth, you know. But if that's not possible for you one night, just let me know. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's real briefly go through the syllabus here, and I'm going to share my screen. And if you haven't logged into Canvas, you can watch me do it because I haven't logged in either. 1 second here. There we go. Actually, I did. So I'll start with Canvas because this is sort of the learning management system that we have here at the college, and it's where basically any assignments or readings or other communications I will have either coming through Canvas or I will send you an email. So two things every week, at least a couple times, make sure you check your NWIC student email because that's where all the emails that I send out from the system go. They don't go to your personal account. So definitely check in if you don't on a regular basis with your NWIC email account. And then I'll also be posting things here in Canvas as we go through the quarter. And what I typically do when I in this class is for each week that we'll have class, there will be one module or one section in Canvas that covers that material. So for instance, right now, what I posted last week is under week 1. So the personal introductions assignment, the chapter 1 and 2 readings were scanned into there. And so if you're looking for any of that information, or if you're looking for the class video, which will be posted, I will also post it under that week's Canvas section. At the top of Canvas is the syllabus for this class. So if you need want to review that or want to print out a copy, you can find the syllabus for that there. The Zoom video conference link is the same one. We'll use the same one every week. So if you just log into Canvas and click on that, it will take you right into the video conference link for the week. There are some things here on my page, if you can see, that that haven't been published or aren't available to you right now. One of them is a Native Nations Institute module that we're going to be working on, and I need to get these are modules that are put together by the Native Nations Institute, which is based out of the University of Arizona. Hopefully in some of your other TGBM classes, you may have worked on one of these online modules. And basically, what we're going to be working on in this course, as part of the course, one of the modules is called the Nation-Owned Enterprises module, and that connects well with a lot of the information that we're going to be covering here. So probably in a week or two after I get all of the login information for you guys, we'll be getting you set up with that, and you'll be working through that throughout the quarter, and there will be assignments associated with that. But Canvas is really the main location where you'll get all your curriculum, your course resources for this class. So check there if you have any questions.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep.
I just walked in a little bit late, but all of our assignments will be under assignments.
Yes. Yeah. So the way I will organize things, typically for each week, you'll have the first part will be resources up here. And so that'll be any resources that we're going to be using in class, or if there are readings that I'm assigning, that I'm providing the reading material, which it'll either be from your book, and if it's not from the required textbook, then I will definitely share it there. So those will all be part of the resources. I'll also put the class videos under resources. And then, yeah, under the assignments section will be the other section that you'll see each week, and that will be where you'll find any assignments that are due for the next class.
Yeah, because I had difficulties in my last quarter where I was always looking at assignments, but then he had other assignments posted under modules and some other place in which, you know, I'm pretty much new to Canvas, so I never even clicked on it, and so I had no idea those assignments even existed.
Oh.
So I just wondering what tabs that we need to utilize.
Yeah. Yeah, everything will be under, you know, each week. Any assignments that I'll have for the following week will be listed there. So yeah, you can just look under whatever week we're under at that point. It'll have the assignments, it'll have when they're due, and any other information that you need.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna just, if you wanna open up your, open up the syllabus, I'm just gonna, this is just the basic sort of covering all my bases type of thing, going through the syllabus. That's what has all the information for this class on. So I'm gonna stop sharing here since I have a paper copy here. So I'm just going to go through this again. If you have any questions as I'm reading through this or covering this information, just let me know. My contact information is at the top. Again, you can either phone or you can email me. Email, again, is probably the best way to reach me reliably, but you can try either of those. I don't have set office hours because this is, I'm teaching one class, and again, I have my main gig in the day is in the finance department. So I am available for appointments. We just need to schedule that. So contact me and we can set something up that'll work for both of our schedules. So,
the email that you're speaking of, that's on the Outlook student email?
It is listed at the top of the syllabus under email szawoski@nwic.edu.
But is that through Outlook? Because that's the one I was told by most of my instructors, that is our student email, and if we needed to contact them, use that one.
Yeah, so you'll use your student email to contact me, and you can just send it to the email address there at the syllabus. And yeah, you can use Outlook or whichever email client you use. So let's see here. So classes will meet each week. We'll just meet on Tuesday nights, 5 to 7 or 5 until whenever we get through the material, basically. Again, if you're at Lummi and you want to come sit in the class in person, we're in the classroom SAC 2, which is right next to the bookstore here in the Lummi campus. I think it's building 13, I want to say. But either way, you can either come in person or you can log in via Zoom. It's a 5-credit course, as are most TGBM courses. One of the things I do ask if you're in Zoom is that you maintain both video and audio presence throughout the class session, just because, you know, as we discuss things or if I have questions for students, you need to be available to discuss and answer those questions. So please, if at all possible, unless you have some technical difficulties, just remain connected via video and audio. That's one of the ways that all take attendance, so to speak, both at the beginning and then throughout the class session. I just ask that people be prepared, you know, to with whatever readings or things that we were going to discuss that I'll let you know about the previous week. If you can come prepared to do that, then that helps the class sort of flow very well. Talked a little bit about keeping yourself on mute unless you're talking. Again, that just keeps the background noise down. If you are going to miss class for some reason or you're not available, just let me know before class, please, via email or phone or however you want to do that. And then again, there will be a class video available for you to watch if you do miss class, and I highly recommend that. So that you don't, because a lot of the material, as most classes are, especially math classes, what we're talking about, say in week 2, is going to build onto what we work on in week 3, which builds towards week 4. And so if you miss something in the middle, a lot of times the learning gets a lot harder if you're missing those concepts. So if you do miss a class, again, highly encourage you to watch the video and also make sure you try to do all the assignments for that week 2. See here. Again, if you miss more, basically, if you miss more than 30% of the class, it's going to be very difficult for you to pass the class. So if you have attendance issues or you have some challenges that come up, please, again, contact me sooner than later so we can try to work out a solution to that before we get to the end of the quarter. Okay. There's only one required textbook, and it's Fundamentals of Financial Management. And the edition that I am using is the 7th edition. And so if you see the ISBN number there listed in your syllabus, it begins with 053. If you haven't ordered your book, that's the number that you want to use to order your book, because that will make sure, one, that you get the right book and that it's also the right edition. And so let me show you the easiest way to do this. So there are all sorts of online bookstores you can use. There's half.com. Amazon.com is the one I typically go to just because they have usually the largest selection and the lowest prices on these books. And the easiest way to order from them is just to go up to the search line at the top of Amazon and just type in that ISBN number. Don't even bother typing in the title. Just type in the ISBN.
Right here?
Yes. That's the 9th edition, though, so we're going to be using the 7th edition.
Oh, no.
But so what I'll say is that in most cases, publishers change very few things between editions. They like to, the textbook industry likes to pump out new editions because then they can make more money basically that way. And so I don't believe that there's value in paying $180 for a book that has minor changes that you could get for $18 from Amazon. So I've been sticking with the 7th edition now for 3 years. And it's still relevant, and all the materials are still useful. So you can try to use one of these other editions, and it will have the same content. The only thing that may be different, a lot of times they will change the exercises at the end of the chapters. So if you notice, I would check the first few weeks of the assignments, because I'll also be scanning in the assignments that I'm giving to you. If you have a different edition than the 7th edition, I would look at those assignments and make sure that the numbers and the questions are still the same. And if they're not, then you'll just need to use the assignment numbers and questions from the 7th edition that I'll provide.
Yeah, because I contacted our new bookstore, and they looked up my classes, and they said this is the book you need. So
yeah, there was some miscommunication with them because they told me that they didn't have a book registered for this particular class, and so, which is actually what I've typically done, because in the past I haven't wanted students to order it through the online bookstore because they charge so much for their books. I typically, will just give students this information, give them the ISBN number, and then have them order it from their preferred online vendor, whether it be Amazon or anyone else. So as you can see for this one, well, let me finish typing this in here. If you just type in the ISBN number at the top, it will come up with the correct, both the correct book and the correct edition. The 7th edition is the one that we're going to be using. And
mine's the 9th edition then.
Right. So I'd recommend, that you just check those first few assignments. You can return books to the NWIC bookstore too. So you might look into that, but we can work through that as the quarter goes on. Like I said, I think the content's pretty much going to be the same. So if the assignments are different, then what I can do also is just scan in the assignments each week, and that way you can use what's on Canvas as opposed to what's in your book.
Okay, so I need to be aware of the questions. What did you say earlier?
Well, so for the assignments that will be coming up, I would check what I have scanned in on Canvas and compare them to the same questions that are in your textbook. And if they're the same, then you can obviously use the questions, the same questions from the textbook. But that's one of the things they change between editions. So you'll just want to look at that if you're going to keep that textbook. Okay. So for this textbook, I just typed it in on Amazon, and it came up. They have all sorts of choices here. You can rent it. You can buy it used. You can buy it used from Amazon or from other sellers. And so I'll just pull up this page that has the books from the other sellers on it here. The one thing, so you can find this book for $18 for free shipping. So this is one of the reasons why I don't recommend people buy the most recent version, because I'm sure you pay about $100 and some bucks for this book for the more recent version of it. But if you do buy from Amazon or one of these other online bookstores, two things you want to check. One, you want to look at the seller information over here. So you have hundreds, or I don't know how many different options here to buy, but they give two important pieces of information. One, they tell you how many ratings a particular seller has, and of those ratings, how many are positive ratings for them. So in this first example here, this is a rental by Amazon for $18, 82% positive. That's really not a great positive rating. I usually encourage people to find like 90 plus, 95% plus is good. It has 3.2 million ratings, so there's obviously a lot of ratings there. But if you scroll down here, you can look and you can find another option for rentals. You can find used books here for $23 from Clean Earth Books. It says a 97% positive rating, and they have 136,000 ratings. That would be a good place to buy it. The sellers you want to avoid are the ones that either have low ratings, like I would say less than 90%. I wouldn't really go with those options. Or they have a very low number of total ratings. Like this person here, they have 100% positive ratings, but they only have 2 total ratings. That doesn't mean much. They haven't sold much on this site. So you want to look for high percentage positive ratings and high number of ratings. And that just means you're probably dealing with a reputable seller. But you should be able to type in that ISBN number on any of these, any of the online bookstore sites, textbook.com, half.com, amazon.com. And it should pull up that book and pull up the inventory that they have on that book. And then you just want to look at the seller information to determine who's a good seller you want to buy that from. All right. But this is the only required textbook for this class. The case study on the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs is something that is I'm going to be providing when we get to that, to work on that. So you only have to worry about one book for this class. Okay. The prerequisites for this class, I sort of mentioned CMPS 116, which is, I believe it's called Introduction to Microsoft Excel. Just want people to have basic Excel experience and know how to work through cells. And I'm going to be teaching you guys the functions that you'll be using in Excel, so you don't have to worry about that, but definitely some familiarity with that. The other prerequisites are Math 107, which is statistics, and BUAD 235, which is the second accounting course, managerial accounting. A lot of the financial data we're going to be working with in this class comes straight from financial statements, so you're going to be hopefully getting more comfortable working with financial statements and then calculating financial ratios based on those financial statements. So we'll hopefully expand on what you learned in accounting there. Let's see what else. The course description is pretty straightforward there. I won't cover that. The NWIC outcomes and the course outcomes. If you've been here at school for a while, you know that each class here has both college outcomes and course outcomes, and so you can review those if you like. The evaluation and assessment in this class, it's pretty darn straightforward. As I mentioned before, attendance and participation is really key in you passing this class, not just because it's a grading component here, but it's because it's a significant learning component. So attendance and participation is worth 30% of the grade in the class. The assignments that we do either in class or assigned as homework assignments, I don't like homework, just that term. We'll just call them assignments. That's another 30%. Again, that's another opportunity for you to repeat what we've been learning in class, and so it's a pretty important aspect of the class. In general, I would say 99% of the students I've had who haven't completed a majority of their assignments don't do well in the class. So again, it's pretty key. The exams will have just 2 exams in this course. There'll be one around the midpoint, and then there'll be one in the last class session. And exams will simply cover the same material that you've been working on in class and on your assignments and that we've been discussing here. So there will be nothing new. And typically I'll have a brief review in the class session before we have an exam, just so you know. We review what we're covering and what's going to be on the exam and what you need to know. The exams that we do in here, the way I do them, you'll log in just like a regular class session to Zoom, and then I'll distribute the exam, and then typically there will be an in-class portion of the exam, and then there will be an essay portion, which is outside of class. The in-class portion of the exam will be completed by the end of class, so it'll be completed by 7. All the exams are open book, open note. So you can use any notes that you have, any work that you've done, any of your assignments. You can use all of that as reference. You can use your textbook during the exam. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't prepare, though. I definitely recommend using the review that we do the week before to sort of organize your notes and make sure you have everything in place, so that when you're taking the exam and you need to access a certain piece of information that are in your notes, you have them organized well enough so you can do that. You don't want to be searching around for things throughout the class session, because 1, that just puts more stress on you, and 2, it makes it more likely that you might not get through the test. So just be, organized and well prepared for the exam, and you should be fine.
Would any of the exams entail, like, because I've been having a problem like being in class and then having to split the screen and have a spreadsheet at the same time. I haven't accomplished that task of doing that. So is any of the exams going to have that? Split the screen and
no, you don't. You won't have to split the screen. One of the things you can do is you can just go up, you know, in your Zoom window, you can go up to the right-hand corner, and there's the minimize. There's the little line that says minimize. You can just minimize your Zoom screen, and then you can just work on whatever you're working on. The test documents will typically, it'll be in a Word document format for the regular questions, and then there'll be an Excel spreadsheet that typically has the calculations in them. So as long as you stay connected online, you can minimize your Zoom screen and just work on the Word document or the Excel document for the test. So you don't need to worry about having them both up at once. We won't be discussing anything during the class session that you take the test. It'll just be the test. So does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and if you have any problems, just, you know, let me know.
Yeah, because I've done it. My first encounter with the computer was like 4 years ago when I decided to complete my education. So I had to take this pre-test where it says, "Do you know what a mouse is? Do you know what a power button is?" And the test came up with the result. It says you'd be better off learning about computers before you proceed. So, you know, I didn't know what a mouse was. You know, I really didn't. So this is my 4th year in college. I'm better at it, but it's still new to me. You know, so.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, those are some good skills that you want to have one way or the other, you know, moving into the business world. So yeah, this will just be another good opportunity to practice those. But if you have problems, just, you know, let me know, contact me. Okay. All right, so, and the exams are, you know, pretty straightforward. They'll have a variety of multiple choice, fill in the blank, calculation type questions, pretty straightforward. And they definitely, if you're prepared, it's definitely something you should be able to get done during the 2-hour class session. So, okay. And then the last part of the class, the financial analysis project. So this project happens sometimes during some quarters and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on how many snow days we have, or how many how long it takes us to get through certain materials. And so I typically save that project for the last few weeks in class, and if it looks like we're going to end up having enough time to work on that, then we'll do that. But don't worry about that until I let you know about it, because last quarter we didn't get to it, and so we ended up just having the 3 first components, the attendance, the homework assignments, and the exams as the only grading components. And then they all just counted for a third of your grade. So. And then the grading scale there is just your standard Northwest Indian College grading scale. All right. So that's the syllabus. Anybody have any questions? Any other questions about the syllabus, how that works? No? All right. Okay, so a couple things just before next week. So the week 1 under Canvas, I posted a few assignments. One was to order your book early. Well, let's see here. Let me get back to it. So under week 1, I had a few assignments here. One of them was extra credit for your textbook purchase. So if you order that by Friday, I guess I gave a due date of the 20th. I think that's Friday. Just send me, email me, or post a email of your order confirmation or a picture of the book or whatever, just so I know that you have a textbook, and then we'll give you extra credit for that.
By this Friday?
Yeah, by this Friday. Yep.
Even if it's the wrong edition, like me.
Yeah. Even if it's the wrong edition, I'll give you credit for the wrong edition.
I got the wrong one.
So, so do that. I think 8 of you have done your personal goals for the finance class. So if you haven't done that, click on that link and it'll, that's just a basic assignment that I want people to consider what they hope to get out of the class here. And then the other assignments I had was chapter 1 and 2 readings. So I scanned in, if you click on the link, well, let's see here. Oh, here's the assignments with the assigned reading pages. So you don't have to read all of chapter 1 and chapter 2, just portions of it. I thought I had also posted a scanned copy. Oh, yes. Yeah, so under resources, if you see chapter 1 reading and chapter 2 readings, those are actually just scanned images of those pages from your book. And so if you don't have a book yet, you can use these scanned readings. If you do, then just refer to the page numbers under the assignment there for chapter 1 and 2 reading. Okay. What I'm going to do probably tomorrow or Thursday is I'll post an assignment for a few questions that are at the end of chapter 1 for you to complete. So after you're done doing your chapter 1 reading, I'll have a couple exercises for you and also have a few for you from chapter 2 for next week. And then the plan for next week will be to go over the material in chapters 1 and 2, answer any of the questions that you have, and begin working on getting much more familiar with financial statements. So I will update. I'll have a week 2. In fact, I'll publish it tomorrow or Thursday, or tomorrow, yeah, or Thursday. I'll put all those resources for next week under week 2 also. And so you can't view it right now because I haven't published it, but I will get it published in the next 2 days, so you can look at that. I'll also post the video from tonight under week 2 also. So, and I think that's about it until next week. Any other questions?
What to do tonight?
So tonight, if you look under week number 1, really is the personal goals for finance class, and then I just the chapter 1 and 2 readings. So if you haven't done the readings, then work on doing those, because there will be assignments, like I said, in the next 2 days for those classes.
And the questions that you're going to publish, they'll be under resources?
No, the questions will also be under assignments.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be under assignments. All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight. If you have any questions before class next week, again, you can always email me or call me, and I can answer any of those questions.
Yeah. Okay, so I should just wait until we get to the questions before I know if I need to order the 7th edition instead of the 9th?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you, when I post the questions, why don't you compare those with the ones in your book? And if they're different, just let me know, and I'll just go ahead, since there was a problem with the bookstore this time, apparently. I'll just plan on scanning all the questions in that we're going to be using from my edition of the book, and you can just work off of those from Canvas then. So you don't have to worry about reordering your book if you don't want to.
I frequently glanced at the chapter 1 readings, and they look exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they don't usually change much between editions. If anything, they'll change some of the questions and problems at the end. So that's why I want you to check on those.
Yeah, I'll just keep an eye out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have. Good to meet you all, and just look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night.
So you're gonna have questions later?
Yeah. I'll post the questions on Canvas by Thursday.
I'm comparing my book to the chapter 1 and 2, and I got pretty much chapter 1 and 2 in this book.
Okay. Okay.
So Steve,
Yes.
so any of the deadlines you have questions, if we submit them late, are we, is our grade going to be like points taken off every day it's late?
I typically will, especially if it's really late, I will have deduct some points, but I wouldn't worry about. It's more important that you turn it in than not turn it in. So yeah, unless you're chronically late, I wouldn't be too worried about those point deductions. Yeah.
Okay.
I do have one more question.
Uh-huh.
Now, when we're working on spreadsheets, is it more critical that the answer is right, or is it more critical that we at least got to the formula, or both?
Well, yeah, both are important, but I mean, for me, it's more important that you understand the process and what's behind the calculation, because even if you get the right answer, but you don't know what the answer means, or you don't know how to do it again, then that doesn't do us much good. And so, yeah, I really want to make sure that people understand the process and the functions that we're using in Excel. And if you understand that, then you should be getting the right answer too. And if you don't, then we can look at why that is. But yeah.
Yeah, my problem is I can do the formula, do the work, and solve the problem, but then an hour later, I won't be able to remember the formula. So are we going to have to memorize the formulas?
Well, in Excel, the formulas, I'll show you how these functions work, but you'll have a spreadsheet that'll have a list of the formulas that we're going to be using in them. And actually, as you enter the formulas in Excel, it will prompt you for what it wants you to put in the formula next. So there's a couple different ways that that it makes it easier to enter those functions in Excel. So yeah, and we won't be getting into Excel probably for about 3 weeks, really. So yep. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.